of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Lewis for inviting me to speak to you about my book and my life during Nazi reign and during World War II in Germany. That dates me right away. I can never hide my age because it will tell in the book how old I was when the war started, and from that we can gather how old I am now. I started to write down a few stories which became short stories. One of them was published in this anthology of McMaster University writing course. Because I thought, talking to Canadian people who had lived in that time, I really had some extraordinary experience, things quite out of the ordinary. And I kind of started to write these short stories. I joined writing groups, and then another interesting thing happened. A lady in my writing group learned that I had been an actress in Germany. I was on the professional stage for 7 years, acted as Anne Frank. I've got a picture here too that you might want to see later on. And she said, "Did you have to perform Anne Frank in Germany?" I said, "Have to? We wanted to. We were dying to. We were so guilt-ridden. We wanted to do anything to show that we did not do it. We had no idea, we young people." So, but again, that opened my eyes to, that might be worth writing down. Hey, did you have to put on Anne? So I started to write my experiences down more in a book form, and I found a publisher at the Surrey International Writers' Conference who was very interested, but she wasn't satisfied with the ending. She thought there had to be some kind of more of a purpose, or things more coming together at the end. But your life, if you just write it as it goes, doesn't necessarily come together at the end of 15 years of age, right? So I had an idea that just shot into my head to do something inventive, to come up with something that was not true. And I wrote an ending which I didn't want. I just loved it. And I expanded on it, and then had this book finished. But now the publisher was not interested because they only published non-fiction. Now it was fiction. So that's when I went ahead and said, to heck with it, at my age, I have not that much time to wait. I'm going to publish it myself, which is a tremendous job. Because you have to do everything yourself, including picture and editing, endless editing. Nevertheless, it's done, and I'm quite proud of it. About my childhood in Germany, you need to understand that I can only tell of my own experience, what happened to me and what I felt. I cannot talk how other people experienced that time. As I said, I was a child of 5 when the war started. And what do you remember after 65 years? My father was a businessman, had his own business, went to the city to attend to his business. We lived in a large house with a big garden. I had 2 sisters and later a stepmother. And life went on as it would in any regular family. I fought with my sisters. I wanted the attention of my stepmother. It was nothing special that I felt at this age was going on in the country. But from one day to the next, I was told that France and England had declared war on Germany. Child, why? Because these countries hated Hitler and all the good he was doing for the German people. And somehow Jewish people who made all the money in Germany for themselves had to do something with it. So how does a child cope with that? Hitler, we already loved him. He had bought wealth, he had eliminated crime, the economy was doing well, my father was doing well in the business. And sure, other nations would be jealous of that. Yeah, was understandable for a child. And the Jewish people, there wasn't a single Jew in our village. I had no idea how they were or why they were different. But how it so easily happens, a song came up, which went in translation like this: throw them out, the old Jewish gangs, throw them out of our fatherland, send them back to Jerusalem. And I remember myself marching up and down the street with my little legs singing that song. But what is significant in this song is that it ended with, send them to Jerusalem. Okay, that was all right. Why not? That's where they belonged anyways. Send them to Jerusalem. That's how far my knowledge, and I'm sure the knowledge of my family, went. But it was also easy to want to get rid of them because now they were told to be dirty, ugly, bow-legged, long noses. So, sure, who would want to have anything to do with somebody like that, right? I will read to you a little paragraph here, which says it quite nicely. I knew the Führer, we only called him the Führer, the leader, not Adolf Hitler. He was only in common language referred to as the Führer. The Führer, I knew the Führer loved children. A while ago, Fatih, his father, had allowed Fräulein Else to take us to the Kino, a movie theater, in Sachau. They were showing Sleeping Beauty, and before the film started, there was a Wochenschau, a show about things that had happened that week. The Führer was talking somewhere in a park. He spoke loudly and waved his arms, and I thought he was angry. But the people in the park, thousands and thousands of people, cheered and clapped and shouted, "Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil!" I guess he had to get angry so that people would believe him. Like Fatih, my father, would get angry when I had done something wrong and he wanted me to be good and listen to what I was